is it just a start and stop and restart? Will that fix the audio issue, or will I have to actually close Streamlabs OBS and restart it? Because that will take longer.
Well, the cool thing is this is the first time, and honestly, yeah.
Sego says it sounds good now.
Good.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, we were having audio issues. We've had to restart the stream. This is Myths and Legends. We're not going to do the full character introduction. I will post the fragment of video or whatever along with this other portion if they do indeed register as multiple separate ones. And hopefully somebody can pick up on that. If nothing else, maybe we'll just do an intro video separately one time, and I can post that in front of it.
Pin it or something.
Yeah. But for now...
well, what I'll do for now, if
pick it up.
And yeah, if we're all good and running, what I'll do is just a quick heads up for everyone who's watching. We have Artemios here, voiced by Squirrel. Artemios is a rogue fighter, level 4, and they are a demigod, son of Nyx, the goddess of night, and they are a worshipper of Hades. You'll notice that all of the characters here, as part of what we have built with this story, is that all of the characters here Sego.
It's friggin' ridiculous, man. You can't do anything. You can't do anything in this. I can guarantee you that the 28,000 viewers right now watching Asmongold playing D&D are not having this problem.
But we're going to dive in. You'll also notice that there is this gentleman up here at the top of the screen, or at the top of the screen, I should say. This is Arcantos, who is the general of the group, which leads us into our story. So, recap. As previously explained, the party is a group of adventurers and heroes who have joined Arcantos, admiral of the Atlantean Navy, to assist the Greeks in the Trojan War. The Greeks have been reaching out to Atlantis for a long time, looking for aid, and have gotten very little in return. Atlantis wished to remain neutral throughout the entire affair. However, they noticed that their favor with the god Poseidon was waning. So, they sent their favored admiral, Arcantos, to bring a force of Atlanteans to the aid of the Greeks. After some dealings with some pirates beforehand, the entire party has finally arrived in Troy. They have met with the leader of the Greek forces, specifically King Agamemnon. And they have also met with Ajax, who is one of the king's probably most prominent fighters. Now, for those of you who may be familiar with the Trojan War, You're probably wondering, where's Achilles? What's going on with him? Well, Achilles is not going to be in this. Achilles is essentially the people taking the place of Achilles are the players here. We don't need a hero to take the place of. We don't need the hero Achilles because these guys are going to do all the things he's going to do. Hopefully. We'll find out. And they don't have the heals that they have to worry about.
Right.
So, we're going to get into it and bring you all to the Trojan camp. So you'll notice in the top left corner, as I'm sure you all kind of zoomed in on, this is your camp supplies. We'll be going over those in just a moment, but if you zoom out, it's a pretty large camp, as you can see. And the party is all kind of coming out of a rest after some time fighting some Trojan scouts who had taken their time setting up this camp. The Greeks have come in and are beginning to build their forces. Now, the objective that you all have stated previously is to build up your armies to be able to assault the gates of Troy. And your first mission is to go onto the beachhead here and take out both of the docks on either side, to the left and to the right. You can see the large fortified structures. Those represent the docks. Now, it is important to know that the Trojans are actively trying to, of course, kill, stop, defeat the Greeks. This is a living battlefront. In other words, expect Trojan defenses, expect them trying to invade the camp, attack the camp, a variety of different things. This is going to be up to you guys to properly defend the camp, build up your camp, to properly make sure that you're going to be able to set up your forces and set up your armies and whatnot before the actual assault. Because if the Trojans take you out while you're all in camp, obviously this assault is not going to go down. So, if everyone would, you'll notice to the left here, this is the heroes' quarters, where currently Cantos and Ajax stay. As you guys collect more heroes and learn and, find more people, the heroes' quarters is where they'll stay, offering buffs to the camp and various other things. Of course, if you wish, you can take them out to fight alongside you. If you wish to do that, that's fine. But, of course, understand that if they are with you out in the field doing missions and whatnot, they obviously can't be at camp defending, offering their buffs, etc.
Right.
Alright, so pulling this up here, the first thing you guys have to do, we got this handout here.
Yes, sir.
First thing you guys have to decide,
Yes.
how are you going to utilize your villagers?
And we have 6 to assign in pairs.
Correct.
Plus, it's blue, not purple.
Say again.
Sorry.
That's all right. We were just checking on some circles in Roll20.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, never mind.
So, there are 6 villagers to assign a task. They are assigned in pairs. The listed tasks are below. You have currently 5 food, 5 wood, 3 favor to work with. Obviously, you're going to want to build that up. But only having 3 sets of villagers to send out isn't going to do that very well.
Right.
That is why it was suggested that one of your first orders of business should be going to the nearby village of Ilum and potentially garnering some favor or aid from them. So, for now though, as it is day 1 of your preparations for Troy, how would you like to task your villagers? Gathering food will obviously keep your villagers fed, make sure that the tasks that they do are up to par. Gathering wood is going to be needed to build defenses and buildings, and worshipping at the temple, gaining favor, is going to grant you all bonuses and boons when it comes time for your assault in Troy. You don't have anything to build at the moment, but that doesn't mean you can't set somebody to build something as of yet. Remember here, in this handout, your camp upgrades show you what can be built and the supplies and time it takes to build it. Feel free to go through that as you like, but for now, what would you like to set your teams of 2 villagers? What tasks are you setting them to?
Well, I think we should have a set on wood right off the bat, just because knowing RTSs, especially in period piece RTSs, wood is always the early game stuff that you need.
I will note for you, Squirrel.
And I'm a squirrel, so there you go, wood. And we need trees.
I will note for you, Squirrel. The dice chat on the right does not auto scroll.
Right. It will. It's not right now because I had it scrolled up because they had tests or they were rolling some stuff and I didn't want that on there or whatever.
That's all right.
So now it will.
Okay.
It'll auto.
So yes. So there is, wood obviously is going to help you build defenses, build buildings. I will tell you guys now, you currently, as I have stated in the past, sources of wood, sources of food, those kinds of things, they need to be scouted out first.
Sure.
And found. Initially though, there is a source of wood, a source of food that you guys can collect from, but when it's depleted, I will tell you, in which you will have to send out your guards to go
find
and
more.
scout for more.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
But for now, don't worry about that. For now, we have 1 vote for setting some people to woodwork. There's still 2 more sets of villagers. What would you guys like them to do?
Should we double up on the wood and then throw 1 for food? I know we need favor as well, but it seems to me as if, as you said early game, having more materials necessary will certainly make farther on in the game a little bit smoother.
Yeah, I'd go with another 1 on wood and 1 on food.
So 4 on wood and 2 on food is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And do we have any bonus like we used to have?
Not with villagers.
Okay, like it used to be the locals, gave us +2 on food or whatever it was, +1 on whatever it was, because they know the area, things like that. In the previous,
not as of yet. As you'll notice on the sheet, it states if you have any bonuses. As of now, there are no current bonuses.
I didn't know if you were talking about that bonus, those bonuses like from villagers, or if you were talking about having already accumulated any bonuses, because you just said a second ago we already have a blah 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 whatever and all this.
You are starting with 5 wood, 5 food, 3 favor. That is
okay.
Things that have been brought by the Greeks.
Okay.
So, but as far as like in the previous example of the game that we were playing,
right,
where the villagers, because they were natives,
right,
knew the area, so finding things was easy, and they were a fishing village, so gathering food was easy for them.
Right.
In this case, there is no current bonuses like that as of yet. That could change.
Okay. Then, yeah, I guess obviously they have to provide for food, like we all agreed on there, and then at least one for woodwork, and the other one, we don't have anything to build yet, like you said, but we could at least start getting the raw materials for that worship. Now, here's a question. Is there a stone gathering mechanic, or is that just encompassed under something
Everything is just listed here, so...
I mean, is
wood,
it so
worship.
there's no need for tracking that? Okay.
No.
Then wood would be the thing.
All resources that you need to track are listed.
Because if it were an RTS, obviously I'd put one on wood and wood on stone. But if it's all wood, then we'll just do wood.
Okay, so
Okay,
2 on
sounds great.
wood, 1 on food.
Sounds great. We can always build a surplus of wood at least.
Alright, so that is what they are going to be doing for the day.
Sounds fantastic.
Additionally, you guys need to decide what you want to set up your troops to do today. Troops, very similar to villagers, are assigned in groups, except troops are assigned in groups of 4 rather than 2. They have a variety of tasks as well, such as scouting. In regards to, that doesn't just mean scouting for points of interest on the map or scouting for resource pools. They also could be sent to spy on the enemy. If you do send out troops to scout, you have to give them a specific purpose and let me know what that purpose is, so that I can provide you with an accurate report based off of how successful they were.
Okay.
You can have them on guard duty. Obviously, again, the Trojans are not a enemy that are just content to sit behind their walls. They want you guys to go, so they will be attacking your camp at some point.
Right.
Setting up guards protects your camp and minimizes damages. Military training, simply put, you need to be able to build up your forces. They're all skilled soldiers, but as you yourselves experienced in the last session, the Trojans are not someone to bat an eye at. You all had a little bit of a difficult time fighting them, so your team needs to be boosted up. Again, just like Favor, military training will pool points that can be used in your assault later. And finally, boost morale. Soldiers need time to rest and relax. Should you all choose to put soldiers on boosting morale, those points gathered are considered wild and can apply to future checks, to the next day's checks. So, you have 5 sets of soldiers to send out. Now, currently you do have a bonus in training because Arcantos is in camp, and you have a bonus to guard duty because Ajax is in camp.
Right, and that's what I was going to say is that bonus is only existent if we put troops in it. We don't have a +1 for training or whatever.
Right. If there are no troops there, it is considered that there was nobody doing anything like that for the day.
Right.
In other words, if you don't put anybody on guard duty, they don't get to make a roll.
They don't have a plus. They don't have a 1 by default. It's minimum of 5, I guess, or whatever, since it has to be 4 and then +1, or however it's done, whatever it is.
It's basically putting down troops gives you a bonus to the rolls that are made.
Right. Okay.
These heroes provide additional bonuses.
Right.
But if there are no troops put down, then there are no rolls made.
Right. So I would suggest that we, whenever possible, maximize out the benefit of the extra +1 and at least have 1 unit in one of those tasks, if not both of those tasks. That's my thoughts. Just because it's free points, or free bonus.
Absolutely agree.
At least training, if not guard duty.
And saying at least one of each.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the only reason I say otherwise is because if we go out to do something, we may take one of those heroes with us anyway. In which case, that's not going to be applicable to get the +1 at that time.
Right.
Like if we take Ajax with us again, then we don't need to necessarily whatever. I mean, we should probably still have somebody on guard duty, but I'm just saying they're not going to necessarily get the +1 anymore. But still, okay.
Right.
So we want to do.
We have 5. We can do 2, 2, and 1, like 1 on morale.
So not have them do scouting, you mean? 2 on guard duty, 2 on training, and 1 on morale?
If we're in town, I would say yeah. Because then we can put 2 in each one that has the bonus. Because if we're in town, both of the heroes are in town.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
getting the +1 on each of those groups. And sacrifice from whatever group doesn't have a hero.
So the question I would have, though, is if you roll and there's a battle, like an assault on the camp from the Trojans, and we're in camp or whatever at the time, are we playing out that battle, or is that just going to be something that's calculated with these rolls?
I will leave that up to you guys if you want to skip the battle just for sake of time, because unless I will make you guys roll, like, do the battle if there's something notable in the Trojans, like if they're using a new unit or a new item or a new weapon or something, you guys will fight that battle so you can experience it and see it. But if it's, for the most part, they're sending out probing parties, they're sending out soldiers that you've already encountered. In those situations, if you're in camp, that is a bonus added to your side because you were present to assist in the battle.
Okay.
We can skip over the actual combat and just get to the outcome.
And the reason I'm asking for my fellow team members' edification here is if we're in camp, then that could free up a unit from guard duty to perhaps, I don't know, boost morale or something like that.
Keep in mind, though, I do not expect you. I remember, in our previous situation, you guys were actively participating in these roles.
Right.
You were actively going out and chopping wood. You were actively going out and scouting. You were actively doing XYZ.
Right.
I do not expect you guys to do that in here. Your job is to go out and prepare the forces and lead the forces into, the
clearing these other areas, right? The docks and stuff like that. So all this is happening. So all this is happening in the background, basically. We're not supposed to be doing part of this stuff.
If you wanted to, but the intent is not to have you all stick around and do guard duty every night. No, it's to you all are out in the wild doing things while your soldiers, your troops, are preparing and protecting and doing what the task that you set them to.
Right. Okay.
You don't have to bring any of the heroes with you. You do not have to bring Arcantos or Ajax or anybody else you meet. If you keep them in camp, great. They get to add that bonus. If you bring them with you, however, obviously you get an extra man on the front, but also that means that they're not at camp to help out the people around them.
Right. Although, let's be honest about it, both of them are considerably bigger heroes than we are.
Yeah, they also tend to scale up our encounters if they're with us, though.
Maybe not. Maybe I've already created the encounters.
All right.
With the anticipation that you'll bring them.
So we just
Maybe
handicap
you're an
ourselves if we don't.
DM and you're gonna scale them anyway.
All right.
What's the point of giving you an easy encounter? There's no enjoyment in that.
I'm sorry, what? What?
Exactly.
No,
So,
not true.
let's decide where you want to send your troops. You have 5.
Well, we know we're putting at least 1 in guard duty, 1 in military training. We know that.
1 goes in guard duty, 1 goes in military training. You have 3 more to choose from.
I am a fan of the wild card number of the boost morale thing because you never know when you might need that on another day. Maybe today's uneventful, maybe there is no attack, but tomorrow there is, and all of a sudden we have an extra bonus from boost morale. issue, So, personally, I'm a fan of one and boost morale.
I'm gonna let you guys talk it over for another minute. I'll be right back.
Yep.
I'm gonna go AFK real quick. But yes, decide when I come back. Should only be a minute or two. Have your 3 other troops assigned. Let me know what they are, and I'll set up the handout. Go ahead.
The only other issue I would have, though... Huh?
I posted down in the chat, 1 each, except double up with whichever of those heroes happens to be in town. Since we have 5 groups, and there's 4 roles.
Alright, so we can double up on either military training or guard duty in that case, and leave 1 in morale, 1 in scouting, correct?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That way we at least get the 1 in the morale bonus and the 1 scouting at all times.
Yeah, because who knows what kind of wild card we'll need. I really like that morale. Big time. Let's put them all in morale. Never mind. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, I'm kidding. I got away from myself for a little bit. Thoughts.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that too, honestly, because I was thinking instead of 2 in guard duty, 2 in military training, I was going to say I would like to stretch one of those to scouting also, and then just whatever.
Well, we have 5 groups total, so we
Right.
can still put 1 in scouting,
Right,
1
right.
in morale.
Yeah, 1 in each, like you said.
Decide which one we want to double up on for either guard duty or military training. To be honest with you, I was not unfortunately here last week, so did we have an encounter that required either guard duty or military training?
We just got the camp.
No,
we had to
just
take
got
the camp over first. That's what we did last week.
Start then with, then perhaps we should start with the military training then.
Now, all right, so there is the aspect of, well, do they have anybody who's, like messengers and stuff like that who are running between their camps and passing word and stuff like that to to the different leadership of enemy movement information and things like that, in which case a messenger's going to come to this camp thinking that there's Trojan soldiers here still, and then he's going to encounter us or whatever, in which case, obviously, guard duty is going to hopefully spot and take out said messenger or something like that. Or anything, or if there were troops being sent here to bolster this area, they don't necessarily know that the camp was taken because we didn't, at least to the best of our knowledge, let anybody get away.
Right, or scouts note that there are messengers in the area.
Right. So the question really comes, I think, in other words, though, that we would need guard duty would be pretty essential right off the bat, honestly. Once we've taken this camp, we need to have guards in place pretty quickly, just because if they want to react, once they discover that this has fallen to the enemy, they may want to react right away instead of trying to let us get a solid foothold.
All right. Well, as the military officer in the group, I will assign our troops. We are going to assign 1 to each of the 4 roles, and the extra will be assigned to guard duty.
All right. You should see the changes here listed.
Yep, just like that.
With the +1s applied due to Arcantos and Ajax. Okay. With your camp set up and ready, keep in mind this is something that's going to happen at the beginning of every day. Obviously,
Right.
Nothing has to change, but, you can make any changes you feel are necessary as you see fit. So, with all of that situated, you all have a few tasks ahead of you that you can choose to encounter, to tackle at your leisure. I will note, the Trojans aren't just going to sit and twiddle their thumbs and wait for you all to build up your army until it's nice and ready, and you all are nice and ready. They're not just going to sit idly by. I have a timer it is a matter of time before the Trojan dockhouses reinforce. It is a matter of time before the Trojan gates reinforce. Your spies may be able to find out some of that information. I'm only telling you guys that now so you don't think that you can just, spend weeks and weeks and weeks on end preparing, thinking, until we decide to attack the gates, there's nothing to worry about. This is a siege. It is a siege of Troy. However, this is a siege that has been going on for some time. The Greeks are very low on supplies and ability. That's why they've called to your aid for help. The hope is that with the Atlanteans and yourselves here, it's enough of a bolster to finally take out Troy, to take out Hector and Paris and those supporting them. But you guys are going to need help. So, once again, we have the Trojan beachhead here, opening up the map. There are a couple of points of interest on the map. You have the village of Ilum, that will hopefully net you some new villagers that can assist your camp. There's the mountain pass to the northeast question. Again, the Trojans seem to avoid the mountain pass, but potentially it is believed that this is a faster and stealthier means of getting to that camp.
Yeah, that's northeast. Sorry. I was highlighting the area. I was highlighting the wrong area. I wasn't paying attention.
The northeast question mark is the one in the Triangle Mountain.
Yep.
Finally, the question mark to the northwest is a temple that your scouts have determined there's something there. They don't know who it is a temple of, but the scouts were unwilling to get closer as there were winged creatures that were circling.
And what was the question mark directly east again?
The southeast question mark all the way in the corner is the village of Ilum, a Greek village. They are not necessarily supporters of Troy, but due to their extremely close proximity, are very nervous of this war.
And the campfire marks where we're at now.
Correct.
Okay, and the X was where the ships landed.
Correct.
And we moved to there. And our objective is to the two dock sections
To the left and right.
Yep, conquer those. Got it.
Exactly.
Understood.
All right.
We also had the opportunity to look into that mountain pass area, right?
You haven't done any of that yet. You can
Right. But
if
that
you
was
want
one of
to.
our options.
Yeah, you can
Right.
if you want to.
Yeah.
Now, again, you guys go right to a dockhouse. Try to take it out right now. Hey, if that's what you want to do, by all means. As soon as you take out one, our King Agamemnon can come in and reinforce. If you take out both, the rest of the Greek army can land.
Personally,
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for that.
I would suggest that we check out Ilum. They're fellow Greeks,
Yeah.
and they could be, at least if nothing else, give us clarifying information that might help us, and possibly other assistance as well. And that would help, if nothing else, also if they have any defensive capability of their own, that would help secure our eastern flank of the camp that we're in now. And they might even be able to give us more manpower or some kind of a resource capability that might equate to trade or something like that with our camp that might bolster our resources, like a boon that gets us ahead of the game a little bit. So profanities, you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm on board with it.
Okay.
Calypso, Penelope?
I actually agree. I think the argument is very correct.
I'm along for the ride. It's fine.
I will say,
That's all we're
Penelope, you
asking.
are a little soft on Mike, just as a heads up.
Well, I
Move
can.
Way closer, thank you.
Okay, otherwise I could always just raise her volume in Discord.
That's fine. I'm just saying on my end.
Okay.
Too. And I have you raised up a little bit, so.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys wish to head to Ilum first.
Think so.
Yes.
Alright, are you bringing a hero with you?
I think we should bring one just for name recognition. If we're trying to encourage them to join us, having one of the better known names with us may give us some advantage in negotiation.
I would say. I mean, normally I would say the more diplomatic of the two would be Arcantos, obviously. But at the same time, I think Ajax might have the more notoriety in a way that would encourage some real following, like, big tough guy. Hell yeah, we'll rally behind that. I mean, inspiring Arcantos would do, but pure motivation by example might just be Ajax.
Yeah, I'm not sure it really matters which one we go with, as long as we have a recognizable name.
The other feature about it is if we leave Arcantos, then training still gets the bonus, and that's going to become an issue pretty quick, I think.
Sure, I'm on board with that.
Okay, so I'm going to remove the bonus that you gave, or I'm going to remove the bonus that Ajax gives.
Right.
Ajax is joining the party. And for the day, Ajax will not be able to provide any help with guard duty.
Right.
Alright. Very well. You still have your 2 sets of villagers there, or troops there. So no worries. Okay. So. The party begins to make their way out of camp and head to the village of Ilum. It's not going to take that long to get there. I'll tell you guys that, the map itself, looking at the Trojan beachhead map here, to get to the gates of Troy probably takes about half a day.
Okay.
On foot.
And the gates are that gray line that's between the pass.
Correct.
Okay.
So to get to the gates of Troy, which will probably take about half a day on foot. On horseback, maybe about 4 hours instead of 8. So to get to the village of Ilum, it's only going to take you about maybe 3 to 4 hours of walking. Bacchius and Ammonius both decide to stay behind, assisting with setting up camp. Because they're staying behind, I'm going to have Bacchius assist in the
morale. Of course.
He provides various wines to the troops, and Ammonius will assist with the woodwork.
Alright.
Because there is no building to be done yet.
Right.
He does have a tiny wine heat, that is correct. He gives his potion to you, Profanities. Should you need it for the day, you have a potion feeling on. Okay.
Alright.
So you all begin to start making your way along the beach, getting closer to Ilum, with Ajax with you. Speaking with Ajax for a little bit of time, you all get a feel for how the Greeks have been doing in this war, how they've been setting up their camps and their assaults, how the Trojans have been responding, how long this siege has been going on. You've just been getting a feel of Ajax's experience as a soldier here on this warfront. From his recollection and from everything that he's telling you, what was expected to be a pretty straightforward and effective assault has become a quagmire, a slog of just resistance after resistance after resistance. You yourselves have experienced the bulwark that is the Trojan soldiers, the Trojan complex. Though they don't necessarily strike with as much power and precision as the rest of you do, the hoplites, they are tough to hit, and they work in conjunction with one another to provide defenses and aid. The archers, those are the ones who were taking down your hit points. They were the ones who were punching holes in your bodies, making you look like Swiss cheese. The archers definitely packed a punch, and were quite quick. Ajax tells you all that the last assault that he participated in before all of the Greeks had to escape via their boats, he came face to face with the leader of the armies of Troy, one of your targets, Hector. Hector is probably the primary reason why the Trojans are as defensive as they are. As Ajax put it himself, he is literally a mountain or a stone wall. He is like a representation of the walls of Troy themselves. He is a experienced and very, very well-trained general of his forces. He's an experienced warlord, such as yourself. Profanities. And as you can see by his picture, he's hard to hit. That being said, Ajax is confident that with your aid and with the building up of your forces, that you will be successful in taking him down. I would like everyone to go into your character sheets. First roll of the night. Everyone please make either a survival, perception, or investigation check.
Survival, perception, or investigation, you say?
Mm-hmm. Philip, so you are whispering your roll. You don't have to do that if you don't want to.
Okay.
Alright. Penelope, profanities, Calypso, you all did survival. Artemios, you did perception. Penelope, profanities. Penelope, you especially. And if you want to roll for Ajax as well, you can have him do one of those rolls.
Oh. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to pull up his actual character thing as well. Survival, perception are the same. Oh, whatever. Bramp. He rolled a 1 and got a 3.
Yeah, he's too busy talking. Penelope, you especially, you can see that the field of battle, essentially, is war-torn. There are ships that you can see that were shot down in the waters, their hulls poking out through the water in various places. You can see there are still some bodies that are being picked at by the various wildlife, crabs, birds, I mean, you're following the beach line here, so it's mostly coastal wildlife, less wolves and foresty creatures. Here you're dealing with crabs, seagulls, other aquatic, semi-aquatic animals. There are still bits and pieces, but you can see Trojan armor, Spartan armor, Athenian armor, Mycenaean armor. There is the armors of various Greek soldiers and Trojan soldiers strewn about the area, some of them still with bodies. As you're getting closer to town, you can see a variety of smoke trails telling you that you're getting closer and closer. And you can hear some commotion, some activity. It seems like, even from a distance, that there is a sort of caucus or group assembly happening within the village of Mill. And as the party arrives at the village itself, you can see a large group of villagers, men, women, some children, have gathered around the town center. Looking around the village, it's primarily buildings of wood and straw, some stonework, but very little. Some very well-kept farms and fishing trawls and nets and the like. It seems that for the most part, other than some of the buildings on the outskirts of the village, of which there is a relatively nicely sized wall surrounding it, that the village itself has been left alone in these combats, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't been accosted. Just it doesn't visibly, there are no signs of that. You all can see that there is, in the center of town, a statue. And it's not very large. It's only about 6 feet high, but it's pretty nicely carved. I would like everyone to make either a history or a religion roll.
You're funny.
Well, vote for me.
Oh, hold on. Hit the thing. Everyone, including Ajax, you mean? Or
You
no?
want Ajax to make the roll? He can. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
He can.
He doesn't have
Ajax has
history and
an
religion.
advantage.
Oh, okay. It's basically just an intelligence check for him, then, right? So.
If he doesn't have one of those skills, yeah.
Oh, it was meant.
And history or religion are the same for moi.
Okay. Profanities, you are trying as hard as you can, but you feel like if it was a painting or something, you could figure out who this was. But the statue, though nicely carved, it's not expertly carved. You know, it's definitely depicting someone, but hard to say. Everyone else does realize who this is a statue of. This is a statue of the god Zeus. You also notice the statue is on a pedestal of sorts in the center of town, where the group, where it seems like the entire village, has gathered. And you also notice there is an older man who seems to be trying to calm everyone and keep everyone, you know, let everyone be heard, trying to keep the peace, as it were. amongst the villagers. This man here.
It's like Robin Williams. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the Fisher King.
It looks like one of the many forms Zeus takes before making another human baby.
Oh my god. He doesn't look bull-like to me.
Very nice.
So, as you approach the crowd, he's kind of looking around at everybody and trying to settle, as he says, People, please, settle yourselves. This war between the Greeks and the Trojans hasn't caused too much harm. Sure, we've had some buildings get hit by an errant arrow, and some cattle has been taken. I understand the problems there, but we...
I walked straight up to him.
Do any, like, the looks of the people?
Crowd.
Yeah, just walking.
Hey, the looks of the people that are shouting out, or for one side or the other. Does anybody that he's talking to at all appear like fit, capable, armed, anything like that?
No one appears armed. This is a village of fishermen and farmers and the like. You can tell that from a glance. There are some who are definitely more capable than others, some men and women who are more capable than others. However, the majority appear to be just, villagers. Even if they are physically capable, they're not. You don't expect that they have any military training or know how to wield a weapon of any kind, as far as you can tell from a cursory glance. Profanities. As you push through the crowd, you see a man kind of turn, noticing you kind of piercing your way through, noticing your armor, your armored compatriots behind you, noticing your regalia. Everyone, please, calm down. It seems that we have yet another representative of the Greeks amongst us today. He looks over to you.
The
Before you
Greeks?
speak, know that we have remained out of this conflict for a long time. We have no issue offering some aid if necessary, if you have injured. However, we are not warriors here.
Is that this guy talking or somebody else?
This is the guy
Okay.
talking in profanity. We expect you to conduct yourself with respect and honor. What is it you have to say, Greeks?
I tell him and the crowd, speaking loud enough for all to hear. We do not ask you to fight. We do not ask you to choose a side. We offer protection, and we ask that you merely share your knowledge of this land and of the fishing resources with the people of our small encampment. We can offer you protection there. War is coming, whether you like it or not. Our encampment is protected, and we welcome you there.
War is already here. It is not coming.
War is
You
coming.
expect the entire village to leave their homes?
War is coming to this specific land in this specific area.
You are going to bring the war to this village.
I am not. We are setting up an encampment and protecting those who are already there. We merely offer you the opportunity to be safe within our borders as we construct walls and barriers to protect those who already inhabit that area. Again, war is coming.
I will tell you, looking around the village, there's a good, 50, 60 people here. You're not going to be able to fit them all in your camp.
I don't intend to win them all over. It would be very rare for the entire town to just up and walk away. But for those who are worried about fear and all they want to do is continue their fishing lives, I'm offering them an option.
Make a persuasion.
Yay, my strength.
You chose to speak.
I always choose to speak.
Hey, I encourage you to speak, and we know that's not true what you said.
No, I fully intend to use them to gain food for our people. I don't expect them to fight. So there's no lie there.
That's why I said persuasion, not deception.
Yep. There you go. Persuasion.
You can see some people are listening, and they're looking to Morian for some kind of guidance or whatnot. Though they may have been arguing with him, and you guys can tell at a glance that they definitely respect this man. He is obviously the village elder, and the leader of the village. However, they're unsure. They don't know who you are. They don't know why, they should trust you.
Oh, that's fine. I've come in and made a simple statement. Eventually, they'll either come to their senses or they'll die.
You say that?
No. That's my first reasoning. Just like I didn't tell them I intend to use them for food.
Anyone else wish
Yeah.
to speak up?
Yeah, I do.
Go on.
I pipe up and say, do I not see a statue of Zeus over there?
Everyone seems to nod. Yes,
I just point at somebody random. I go, you, what are you? Are you Greek?
I was not born in Greece, but
Do you consider yourself a Greek?
Yeah.
You, over there. You, are you also a Greek? I was told this was a village of Greeks. Is this not?
They all seem to kind of nod, kind of curious where you're going with this.
It seems like if this is a battle between Greeks and Trojans, then by birth, you've already been given a side. You may not have a choice. You realize that, yes? The army of your people has arrived. We are here.
The crowd does seem to understand what you're saying. Calypso, there are definitely those who seem anxious amongst the crowd, and some confused, some worried. Nobody necessarily scared or terrified or anything like that, but there is definitely some anxiety and worry amongst the crowd, from what you can see, Calypso.
I am specifically more concerned about the children in the crowd.
You don't get much from the children. You don't know if they really understand what's going on.
And understand something else. You're all farmers and fishermen and whatnot. You should understand this. There's a constant battle, is there not, between the wolves and the farmer and his sheepdogs to protect the sheep. But do they not still lose sheep? Do sheep still not fall? They do. Would you rather be the sheep in that situation?
Make a persuasion roll. I will give you advantage.
Ooh. I will take advantage. No, that sounds wrong. In the Me Too movement, I'm not doing that. No.
Natural 20. The
Top.
crowds are all very, they are looking at Morion expectantly. He seems to be studying you intently. His bright blue eyes, very calculating. And he says, like the gods, as we have been told by our patron, gestures that shows we have remained protected due to not participating in this fight.
Well, maybe...
By participating, we put ourselves at risk. However, the man has a point. He looks at you and he says, as I've said, we are not soldiers. No one here is any more capable of wielding a sword than they are wielding their fishing poles. We need guards, means of defense. If you are willing to spare some of your troops to guard this village, then we will assist you. We will not camp in your camp. We want to be able to stay at our own homes and our own village. But if you're willing to protect us, the more protection you can offer, the more we can send your way to help you in your preparations.
Everyone has their role. And if that's your role, then that seems best for all involved. Besides, it's probably best that you did not camp with us. Trust me, soldiers deployed off to war, it does not make for the kindest surroundings for, women and children, for example.
You hear some murmurs, some chuckles.
It can be a little bit raucous.
We can provide you with aid if you will provide us with protection, as your friend has stated. How many are you willing to send our way?
Well, we send in groups of 4, so...
So, out of character, they seem amiable to assisting you all. They obviously need to be able to protect themselves and feed themselves and whatnot, so they cannot send the entire force. However, the more soldiers that you are willing to give them, the more villagers they are willing to give you. Keeping in mind, you will be getting more soldiers once the docks are taken out. You can always send them more later. You can send them more initially. It's however you guys want to do it.
Well, when he asks, how many soldiers are you willing to send our way, I just kind of look back toward Profanities, since he wants to be, the infantry leader here.
I have a difficult time sending our troops when we're not even well defended ourselves yet.
said, we've given them the opportunity to come to us, and I understand they may not want to leave their homes, but they will have to make a choice too.
Well, it's as was stated. You guys don't have the room to support an entire village. They will send their people to you to, with supplies and whatnot, or if you needed extra builders, or, they'll send laborers to you. That's fine. But to live in your camp, at this moment, maybe later, but at this moment, you do not have the means to support an entire village. They can support themselves back. They can support themselves in the village, but they have no way of protection. If you can commit some guards to here,
Right.
they will send over villagers.
The problem is we don't have enough soldiers to protect a village that size yet either.
Well, I will tell you this. There is no... I will tell you that the amount of soldiers, it does matter. However, if you wanted to just send one unit, that will suffice for now.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more representative of protection than it is direct protection at this point. I mean, if we send 4 soldiers, that's still 4 guys.
Yeah, obviously sending more, and they're not, though they are not warriors or anything, or, soldiers themselves. They're not, that doesn't mean they're going to lie down and die if someone attacks. But there's also no reason for the Trojans to send men to this village. They might send an assault squad or something.
Or more likely, a scout might come along.
If there is a serious issue, they will reach out to you guys. But as of now, the Trojans are not aware that they're in support of you.
Yeah, I would just say just send 4 guys, the one unit of our dudes.
You can always send more later or take them away. But obviously, if you don't
I'm
hide
good
them
with
as
that.
guards, then
I'm good with that. I'm not sending any more than that, though.
okay. You can always revisit this later. So you're going to send one group of guards to assist the villagers.
Yes.
Okay. You will be able to do that starting tomorrow. I will pull off one of your guards and provide you with an additional, let's see. You are granted an additional 4 villagers. However, due to your impassioned speech and your natural 20 Artemios, I will grant you another 2 villagers, so you get 6 villagers.
So 3 units, 3 pairs.
3 more units of villagers are making their way.
Sweet. And they're not even going to hate that job if they're the ones that are asked to do boost morale. They'll be like, cool, we went over there and partied all day.
So, basically, you're going to lose a unit of
joke pot.
soldiers, but you're going to gain 3 units of villagers. If you're able to commit more soldiers to the village, they can send you more villagers.
Perhaps down the road.
However, it seems agreeable for now. Morion nods, and you see the village begin to disperse, calls out to a few, and tells them to prepare. They're going to be the ones being sent initially. And then as this is done, and you all are kind of conversing, deciding how many you're going to send and who you're going to send, etc. He calls you all to a modestly sized hut near center of town, asking you to join. So you arrive inside his hut. It's sleek decorated for the village leader. You would expect maybe something a bit more grand and whatnot. However, it just seems, very simple, honestly very Spartan. It's very, there's a bed, there's a small shrine to Zeus here. And you can see a table, a kettle, like a large pot over a fire on the fireplace. Some fish grilling over the pot. You see a woman, probably aged 25, 30, is tending to the food. She lays it out onto a slab of stone, puts it on the table, and then leaves as you all sit down. He takes a seat, and you can see he kind of is leaning on the staff that he walks with, looking at you all says, "You speak as soldiers and impassioned Greeks, but amongst you I can see a variety of backgrounds and people. Who are you?"
I look at profanities.
I also look at profanities.
I am Profanities, the leader of many Greek armies through many battles. I have seen war and death and worship appropriately. I am a Greek through and through, as is the rest of my band.
Shins an eyebrow at you and nods. And the rest of you? Or does this one speak for all of you?
Well, he certainly does have a way with words, but he doesn't speak for all of us. I am Calypso. It's very nice to make your acquaintance. I am a follower of Apollo.
I can
I
tell.
just kind of nod. I just chuckle.
Your god is a supporter of the Trojans. Do you know this? As is yours, speaker of Greek armies.
I get up.
I thought your
Are
gods are.
those who are victorious in battle, and those who bring glory to their own self and to their army. He does not support Troy.
He does. He has sided with Troy.
Are we sitting or?
Yeah.
Okay. I will.
Few gods have sided with Troy,
I will.
as some have sided with Greece.
I will stand up and step over toward him and hold out a hand and say, "I'm Artemius. I'm here to bring many Trojans to Hades."
There are many among you who will do the same. He nods to your hand, but he doesn't shake it. And you, looking at Penelope.
I have no words. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared. I didn't realize that Athena had actually, and this is out of character obviously, Athena had actually supported the Trojans as well at one
He
point.
never mentioned anything about Athena.
I know that, but sorry, just looking up a little history here.
Yeah,
I
there.
apologize.
And
Don't look up. Don't look up history. That doesn't mean that
History
it's
of-
going to match the same.
Right.
History of made-up gods.
Oh,
Right.
my bad.
That doesn't mean it's going to be the same here.
Well, it's just like in the movie they had the temple to, wasn't it Athena that was outside, or was it Apollo? I think it was Apollo that was outside the gates that that one of the daughters of the king had sworn herself to, and that's where she got captured and all that stuff with Achilles.
Maybe. I don't remember. But Penelope, did you say anything?
Certainly. Penelope actually looks to Archimedes, who just sort of grins back at her in his own owl-like fashion. He's not in his great sword pursuit right now, and she says, "I support the Greeks, regardless of what deities support Troy. The Greeks have sent me here. I will wage the battle if they have committed to age.
Indeed. The gods you follow are just as split as you are. There are some who support the Greeks, some who support the Trojans, and some who remain unaligned. Zeus and Hades amongst them do not wish to pick sides in this forsaken fight. Gone on too long, in my opinion, but I am an old man. I have grown tired of the petty squabbles of neighbors. Regardless, he looks to you, both Calypso and Profanity. Do you have any hope that your gods will support you? I suggest you communicate with them, speak with them, and try to persuade them to join your side. For without it, you would expect their aid, and expect a loss in favor, regardless of your prowess in battle, or how well you worship the light. They are gods. They can do what they wish.
I rise from my seat. My service of Ares is unwavering, as is his support of my efforts in battle. Win or
And
lose.
are you joining the Greeks, or are you joining the Trojans? Because he supports the Trojans.
Says
As of
you.
now.
Say you.
You do not have to believe me.
I
But
do
I
not.
have been told that he gestures to the statue of Zeus. And I believe what I am told.
At the end of the day, it will not be the gods who fight this war, though. It will be the men. And
You are not
therefore...
wrong.
Huh?
You are not wrong.
And therefore, that's all that matters, is which side you want to side with regards to which men you want to side with, not with which gods. And it will not matter which side
You know
loses
why
to the
this
gods
war
either.
started.
And the gods will not care, and they will continue on about their business, no matter which side wins and which side loses either.
You know why this war started.
Yeah, I'm sure it was not the gods. It was the men as well.
No, it was the gods. By all means, it was the gods. A mortal man chosen to pick which god is the most beautiful amongst them. And thus war began. Because of a choice of a mortal man.
So again,
Yes,
it was the
we are
man.
fighting in it. But it is the gods. They are just as active players as are you. I only say this not to dissuade you, not to stop you, but for you to understand. You need your god's favor if you hope for success. Maybe, if you are successful, maybe this war will finally end.
That is our hope.
Leans into Penelope. That is our prayer, my dear, not our.
I nod back. True.
Eat, rest, take whatever time you need. I'm happy to provide whatever I can from this village. Questions, concerns, you wish to hear my counsel. Why you would want it, I don't know. I am here. We will send the villagers to your camp in the morning. that, he nods and gets up and goes into a separate room.
All right. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get up and leave this place. This guy's a rude prick as far as I'm concerned. Anyway. Old curmudgeon.
Just want to use that word.
Yeah. But before we leave the village, or are we leaving the village? What do you want to do? What do you guys want to do?
So you guys, you leaving the village? Is there anything you wish to do here before leaving?
What I would like to do is go ahead and say a prayer or something, a blessing upon the village. If Zeus is who they venerate, then Zeus is who I will ask to continue his protection of the village, and given the circumstances especially, and that we will do our best, of course, to help protect those who are under his care as well.
Sure. Okay. Anybody else? What are you doing?
And make a minor offering, whatever I have. I mean, a couple of, I don't know, whatever we have. I don't even know what we have.
That's fine. That's fine.
I make a minor offering to Ares in thanks for a day of rest in order to prepare for the coming battles.
Just personally, or are you trying to put it somewhere?
No, just personally.
Okay. Like
There's no temple for him near here.
Yes. I mean, you can, you have like a small little idol that you maybe keep with you or something that you can do that. That's fine. If you wanted to do that in front of something.
Yeah, sure. I'll pull up my idol.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, praying to Apollo for guidance in this war in consideration of the old man's words.
Are you actively asking for questions? Which I will also add this. Should you guys wish to try to commune with your gods, you are all willing and capable of doing so. That does not mean they'll answer. That does not mean that they'll provide anything of use or anything at all. But you, at any time, should you wish to ask to speak or to commune or gain a message or something from your gods, you are more than welcome to do so. The gods are active participants in this world. So,
Right, not in a questioning manner, but in consideration of the old man's words, looking for guidance from Apollo on.
Make a religion roll, however. Are you proficient in religion?
Looks to be so.
Okay. You may add whatever you roll, add your wisdom modifier to the end of it.
Okay. I'm just straight roll. Well, yeah.
And Penelope, are you doing the same thing?
Absolutely.
Alright, you may
So that's a 12.
you may
I mean,
make
11.
an 11. Your modifier, your wisdom modifier is not a +5. What's your wisdom modifier?
Sorry, I looked in the save box, my bad. +3.
Okay, so a 9. Penelope, you may do the same thing also with wisdom. Do your religion roll and your wisdom modifier. Okay, nice. Calypso, no response. No feeling, no sign, no message as far as you can tell. Penelope,
Okay.
I am going to privately message you something. I just had to say something to Penelope. Alright, I'll let you, well, you were just kind of leading, you were just saying thanks and leaving your offering for Aries. You weren't, like, asking for guidance or anything, so we don't have to roll for anything. Alright.
I do look at the reminder. My party is. Who's near me? Is it just Calypso?
I mean, the party is spread out a little bit. They're within, within 100 feet. You're all within 100 feet of each other. You're not necessarily alone. There are the villagers amongst you. Unless you are going up to talk with them. Maybe somebody makes a little bit of small talk with somebody, but everyone's just kind of looking around the village, looking at the people. And the people are looking at you.
Understandable. I mean, we are strangers. These people have probably never left their home their whole lives. I do sidle up to, just casually, to Calypso, and I tell her I feel that I've heard from my goddess, and she has confirmed that the elder has spoken truly, at least. That's what my feelings are, very strongly. reservoir, so to speak, or a supply of the wood is probably key to beginning the building projects. I agree.
Yeah, so do we know what the conversion rate is for, like, wood to building?
It's in the building tab.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Vamp upgrades tell you what everything costs and how long it takes.
Okay, thanks.
Arthemius?
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
No, sorry, I could hear you guys. I had turned up the volume, but I had stepped into the kitchen or whatever, so I could hear you guys. And I know I was agreeing definitely to the idea of worship being something that we need to catch up on. So how short are we as far as, or do we still have anything to allocate, or is that it?
Well, as far as Profanities has suggested, it was put 1 in fishing, making it a total of 2.
Right.
Put 1 in woodwork, making it a total of 3. Put 1 in worship, making it a total of 1. So you would be at 2 in food, 3 at woodwork, 1 at worship.
Oh, you're saying of the new ones?
That's with the
Correct.
new villagers being added.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Everyone else in agreement?
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Agreed.
Okay. So I will put 1 in worship, woodwork, fishing. So it should look like this. Everyone go with that? Yes?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep,
Point
that's
out.
good.
Alright. Let's now go over to your troops. So as a reminder, did not have Ajax assisting in the guard duty in this case. The guards report that there was not an attack from the Trojans at this time. So, yeah, nothing to worry about there. What I would like someone to do and have prepared is what we're going to do first. You had one group of soldiers set to scouting. We forgot to mention, what did you want them to scout? Did you want them to find a new resource pool? Did you want them to find to scout for new points of interest, or did you want them to scout the Trojan camps and spy?
Was anyone curious about the temple? I mean, I understand there were winged creatures, so. But sorry, that's my first thought. But maybe that's
Well,
not.
I think the immediate threat is to the camp itself.
Gotcha.
We just attacked it. The Trojans are likely to notice that something happened, so I'd like them looking for either troop movement or messengers carrying information to and from about us.
Okay.
Unless anybody else has something they'd rather see them do. I agree that scouting the temple is important once we know we're safe.
Personally, I think that the mountain pass would be before the temple, because if with the securing of the village's support, I think it seems natural that our direction of progression should be toward the eastern of the 2 dock areas first, and the mountain pass might represent a threat to that. That's what I would think. I think our natural progression would be toward the east first, secure that since we have the village, and then
Yeah, we're looking on Ilum too, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ilum is to the east of us, and then Go ahead.
I have 1 vote for the searching for messengers and various other Trojan movements nearby. I have a vote for checking out the mountain pass. Penelope, which one did you agree with?
Well, actually,
No, she was
those
saying-
strategies make sense, but the immediate one would definitely be the messengers. We want to know what they're trying to gear up for.
Yeah.
events.
And let me be clear, I was also in support of the immediate thing that Profanities is saying. I'm just saying between the temple being secondary or the mountain pass, I would push toward the mountain pass personally.
Okay. Calypso, any thoughts?
I'm a little bit worried about the Trojans for sure. Not knowing what the temple is, we know that we have a few points of interest that we'll need to take on at some point. So yes, I'm in agreement with everyone on priorities.
Okay. So we'll start with the Trojans. I need. Let me pull up the Greek soldiers. Second. Greek cowboy. There we go. I need someone to roll a d20 plus 3. It's a natural plus 2, and then the additional 1 from putting a point.
I got it.
21. Okay. The Greeks were very good with an initial scouting area. I will mention scouting, though it is twofold. Not only does it provide information about areas on the map and various other goals and things, it also is a pool of points that you will gather that can be used for assault. We'll get to that when you guys get to the actual assault of the Trojan gates, where these points go and how much you have. But keep that in mind that military training, scouting, and favor all allocate points to pools that will be used when the assault on the gates occur. Okay?
Roger.
But very good with the scouting. You guys gathered, and if you want to keep track of this yourselves, you can. I am keeping track. My own sheet. Second. You guys gained 3 points scouting, and there were a couple of Trojan scouts that were encountered. They were dealt with in a way to kill them just outright would also raise a flag. They were,
Bandits killed them rather than opposing.
Yeah, they were kind of rerouted or or they were like, the scouts were, dressed up like they didn't wear their Greek colors, that kind of thing. They kind of.
They were found riddled with arrows, but with a suicide note next to them, so it was okay.
They were well enough to dissuade any immediate reinforcements. Obviously, that's not going to last for now. It seems to be successful. So that was scouting.
We sprinkled a little crack on them, and it's alright.
I need. You have a +3 to your next roll for guard duty. A natural +1 with the additional of 2.
Oh.
There you go.
Nothing to report. Nothing that they seem to notice, as far as you can tell. Military training. It is going to be a +5, a natural +3, with the additional 1 from guards and 1 from architects. A 19. Still getting their bearings, still getting everyone set up and ready. Obviously, they're not at full force yet. However, that is enough to get 2 points in military training.
Yay!
Right? And finally, boost morale. You have a +1 or a +2. One from these guys, they have a natural 0. One from these guys, +1 from Bacchios.
Yay, Bacchios.
12. They're a bit on edge. Do not gain any extra points in boosting morale. Keep in mind, you guys do have inspirations if you want to re-roll any of these.
I'd like to hand that to Calypso, thank you.
You want to re-roll that?
Please. Thank you.
There you go.
+2.
They're a bit on edge until Bacchios shows up.
Right.
And then he shoves his wines into all of their throats and hands, and
Ooh, he shoves a bowl.
I was saying, are we
Tiny whiny, doesn't it?
are we calling it that now?
Oh, please! Oh, please stop!
so you have
God!
3 points in wild. So let me +3 wild points. These points must be assigned the next day, or they go away.
Okay.
Okay? So, with that in mind, which group of guards are you sending to Illic?
You mean from where?
Yeah.
One of the ones from guard duty.
No, I do believe that would be
Yeah.
wise.
So we're taking off the one from guard duty, so it's an even split across the board. You have 3 wild points. Where would you like to put them?
Well, I mean, so we have nobody on guard duty now, or
You have 1 on guard duty.
well,
Ajax is back in camp, so at the moment it's a +1 as well.
we could always give them a couple of those points at least to make up for the fact that there's less guards. No,
That makes sense. It
I
does.
mean, we don't have to use
Yeah,
all the points,
that's
but at
good.
least 1 or 2 of the points.
Yeah, sounds good.
So how many points would you like to put in?
We have 3, correct?
Mm-hmm. We'll do two,
So-
2 there and 1
Yeah.
somewhere else.
You want to put 1 in scouting again? Because that seemed to be particularly lucrative.
Sounds good to me.
So
Really wanna know
2
what-
in guard duty, 1 in scouting.
Yeah.
Alright. So
Yep.
the wild points are notated by an asterisk. Does this look accurate to everyone?
It does.
Yes.
+1s are obviously from your heroes. Alright. So that is the idea of how the end of the day will go, or a new day will begin with your camp and running your camp resources.
Okay.
Pretty simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. It is a new day. You can see that the villagers have already come from the camp, or from the town in our part of you are have been instructed to them and are currently going through the process of getting everything set up and situated for you guys. It's morning. You all gather together. Where to? What would you like to do?
Scout the mountain pass ourselves.
That's fine.
Absolutely do that.
I just think
Cool with that.
it's important to check because if I recall correctly, the way it was described was there might be an easier way or something like that, something that would facilitate our assault on that base that way.
That's how it was described.
As all reports have gathered, yes, it is going to provide a faster and stealthier means of assaulting that dock. That being said, the Trojans seem to avoid the area.
Doesn't mean it's not something.
Initial reports said. You can choose to send scouts there to try to gather more information, but you can always just go yourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's not something that we can't, deal with too. So.
Very true. So, is that what everyone wants to do?
I have no objections. I mean, I'm cool. Penelope goes with the flow.
It's about half a day to get there, right?
Yes. Do you wish to bring the hero?
I have a question.
Yes.
Wait, I have a question because I'm not familiar with this. I think I'm interpreting this correctly, but augury wouldn't apply for this type of decision. It's more about a very specific, like once we get there, if we decide to attack versus scout or something like that. Because there's like a 30-minute window.
Post a spell up for me.
Yeah, hang on. Talks about a specific decision, course of action within 30 minutes. Kind of like a, will it go well, will it not kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be something like you ask us. Yeah, you ask a question, or you describe what you want to do within the next 30 minutes. So that might be something when you get to the base of the mountain pass.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, that's how I was interpreting it, but I have never used a spell like this before, so I just thought I'd ask.
Sure. Yeah, if that is what you guys want to do, I can absolutely
Okay.
have you all head out that way.
Yeah.
So, as you are traveling,
To the mountain pass, right? Okay.
as you're traveling, I would like someone to choose to take lead. Not that necessarily you're going to get lost, but, someone who's making the initial checks.
I'll go.
And,
And we're not taking a hero with us, right?
that's up to you.
On a scouting mission? Nah, we'll be good.
Nah.
Alright, so you said you're taking lead, Artemius?
Sure, I'll go.
Alright, cool. Go ahead and make a survival roll for me. Tell me what the number is.
You see what the number is.
I'm also on a different screen. That's why I
Oh,
told you
7.
something.
Sorry.
Give me 1 second. Okay. So you start making your way to the mountain path.
Mm-hmm.
As you are traveling, it becomes rather apparent rather quickly that though there are sparse bits of trees and mountains, I mean, you can see here, the terrain in general. There are sparse bits of trees and forests and whatnot. But for the most part, the entirety of the area is very hilly or flat. There's not a lot of cover
Okay.
as you move around. And it becomes rather apparent to you, very quickly again, that even at very far distances,
You can be seen.
you can be seen and you can see others.
Mm-hmm.
As you are moving, You don't come across any Trojan patrols or forces or the like. You do come across a variety of creatures, animals mostly, deer, some wolf packs you can see in the distance, cluing you into the idea that it's very hard to stay hidden while traveling through this area. But you don't come across anything, dangerous as far as you can tell, making your way closer to the mountain. As you get closer to it, though, Arthemios, please give me another survival roll.
Survival. Nope. I'm going to re-roll that
Okay, go for it.
and get another 7.
Your thoughts are elsewhere.
No.
Now that you've arrived at the mountain pass, it's a treacherous terrain for sure. It isn't like there is a road or anything cutting through the area. Bringing a force through here, like bringing soldiers through here and whatnot, is probably going to be hard. Not impossible, but definitely difficult. A small group such as yourselves most likely can make it through without issue.
Which matches its description. It was described as a stealthier approach to the town.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you wanted to bring soldiers through, they're probably going to have to go around. It's like I said, it's possible, but it's probably thoughts, I will say, profanities come to you of the legendary
Gates.
The legendary battle of Thermopylae.
Yeah, the hot gates.
Right.
Yeah, the hot gates, and having to move single file through the rocks.
Yeah, you want to be at the end, not in the middle.
Right. So, trying to send an army through there, that's your screw. But a small group, doable.
To which I say profanities. If we do indeed decide that this is still a good path for stealthy activity toward a stealthy advance toward this docks area up here, perhaps we still have soldiers go along the coast north from the area of Ilum while we make our stealthy approach this way and let the Trojans react to the military force coming up the coast instead of us. That might allow us to gain entrance, and take out leadership or open gates or something like that to facilitate the soldiers' actual assault.
Yeah, strike force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, this is only a preliminary look over.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to know that it is a clear path going through unless you yourselves go through.
Yeah, it was a hypothetical.
Well, I think we should go through it.
Yeah.
Hearing bells.
Yeah, but we're not doing the attack yet, is what we're saying.
No,
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
We're going to clear the pass first so that we know all the dangers that.
Or at least get an awareness.
Future travel.
I need a marching order. Go ahead, and I'm gonna, you guys are still on the camp, right?
Hmm?
Yes.
You guys are still in the camp. Go ahead and line yourselves up.
What do you mean we're still... Oh, in the camp map.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, what?
Go ahead and line yourselves up in a single file line.
Oh, wow. Somebody just... Apparently Calypso flies on her own?
I
Maybe.
moved you to the line.
Okay, he did. He moved us all.
That's Apollo answering my prayer from yesterday. Move your ass.
Oh, hail Apollo!
The right edge
Move
being
your ass.
the front.
right side being front, right to left.
Right side being front. I take point.
Yeah, you put yourself in a line as you are making your way through the mountain. Okay.
Oh,
So, you initially begin to move through very rocky terrain. As I stated before, there is no clear path to climb through here. You do find a means of kind of winding up the mountainside, but it's definitely not a comfortable climb. I need profanities, you first. Make a survival or athletics roll, your choice. I know which one you'll pick, but you'll have the choice.
My choice. Yay. I'll go this route.
Alright, athletics. It's definitely not an easy climb, but you're making your way through as best you can. Penelope, same thing.
You got it.
I forget, my demigods, some of you have advantage on certain abilities and the like. Don't forget about that. Penelope,
Oh wait, I do have an advantage. My bad.
Athletics.
Let me try that again.
Is it on athletics?
Yes, you said athletics. Right?
Hold on, let me double check your character sheet.
Well, my character definitely has that.
It's based off your daddy.
I have an advantage on all strength athletic checks.
That's right. Okay, go ahead.
I hit the wrong one.
Based off your daddy.
Nice.
I'll
Deity
take
came
it.
off of daddy.
which is a vague enough term that it prompts
Yeah,
the.
no, it's true.
Which is a vague enough term that it prompts the question, "Who's your daddy?"
Future quest. Dear mother.
A 22. Alright, yeah, you're climbing through without issue.
Daddy left for Ambrosia years ago and never came back.
yeah, he did.
Calypso, survival or athletics?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Less about just sheer climbing ability and more about finding the appropriate handhold, foothold. It's not like you're climbing up the sheer rock, but it's, knowing which places to place your feet so they don't slip out from under you.
Stop
Yeah,
trying
more.
to lift your full body weight on the dead roots.
Yeah, I'm more about the prayer than the push-ups. So yeah.
And finally, Arthemios, athletics or survival. Okay. There are still inspirations if you want to use it, or you can keep that.
No, I'll keep it.
Okay.
could I
As
drop
you-
the rope down to him?
Well, it's too late now. You
Yeah,
already
it
made
doesn't
one.
matter.
It is, you're right. Sorry. I'll remember for future.
And it's not just. I'm sure it's not just one set of cliffs or anything like that either. This is probably over a course of some travel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a number of different precarious situations or unstable footing or rough, inclines and all that kind of stuff.
Correct. A couple of rolled ankles and, precarious lifts up. You're feeling this climb and this move.
Alright.
You have a level of exhaustion,
It's fine.
Arthemia.
And one level does what?
Just disadvantage on ability checks.
Skill checks,
Including,
right?
yeah, including initiative.
Uh-huh.
No damage, but definitely, this isn't the most ideal pathway for you, as you are finding out.
What happened?
Eventually, though, you guys begin to plateau a bit, getting onto more even ground. And as you kind of crest over the edge of the that's right. Yeah, you can absolutely. You can't look through his eyes, but you can send him to scout around if you like.
I look to profanities. Would you like me to send Archimedes out to take a look ahead?
Extra eyes are always useful.
Especially eyes that don't get hit. Yeah, let's do that. I'd like to go ahead and send him forward. Any direction that you'd particularly like me to look into, sir?
North.
I ask Archimedes to scout north and report back.
And all this cliff face on the left is obviously cliffs going up. On the right is... What is this stuff?
That is cliffside going down.
Okay, so we're on a ledge along the side of
Yes.
the cliffs to the right, left. I mean, okay,
Indeed.
okay.
Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that you can.
I like that.
Those are trees down there instead of bushes.
I like that. You can look through his eyes, but then while you're doing that, he can't look through his eyes, so he's just gonna crash into the side of the mountain or something.
That's hilarious and horrible. Yeah, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So Archimedes returns to your side. Looking around, he says that, on the other side of this ledge and plateau area, looking down the means of getting out and down to the other side of this mountain pass, it actually looks like it's a little bit easier than the way up on your side. He says that it's less of a sheer rock wall. Not that the other side was, but it's less of a bowl-ish climb and a little bit more gradient to it, kind of going down on a slope. There is all right amount of cover out of the pass, enough to substantiate a stealth check. Again, not good for an army. They wouldn't be able to successfully hide, but a small group of soldiers could do so without real issue. However, it seems that it definitely looks like a relatively safe means of going down compared to, it still would require a check, but maybe not as high of a DC. He also reports that there is a small is not the right word. There is a shallow cave on this side of the mountain pass, where you see my pings.
Yes.
He did not go inside to investigate it. He can if you want him to. from just looking on the outside, it didn't look like there was anything inside of it, but he's not sure. But a cave like that, he believes, would suggest something living in there.
When you say shallow, do you mean short opening? How does he know it's shallow? If it's
Shallow in the sense that it's not very deep.
Yeah, okay, just checking.
How does he know that without going in, though?
Right.
As he can, from what he can tell just by looking at it, he can see the back end of the cave.
Okie dokie.
There are some crevices and places that there could be things that, could hide outside of, like, the opening. So he could be wrong. From what he could tell, it looked like a shallow cave. It could have a turret in it that's concealed, or, that is not perceived from the opening, and then, it's much deeper than it appears, but you'd have to go in to determine that.
I'm sure I can send him in. He's an owl, so he's very
You can
quiet.
absolutely send him in.
Would I need to roll for stealth, or?
If you want him to be stealthy about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's an owl, but he's pretty freaking quiet, typically, so I'll definitely roll for stealth, too. How do you want me to roll for that?
He is the next model compared to Bubo. He's like 3 or 4 models later after Bubo. They've definitely anchored out the squawking and chirping.
You're hilarious. He's whatever, 2.0. Okay, so yeah, he likes to do that.
You want him to stealthily fly in and investigate?
Absolutely. I mean, if it's something that's a little bit it's not out of the usual for the area, I'm sure, but it's something that would be difficult for us to get to. We might as well just ask him to take a quick look.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could do it. You just have to climb more around.
And like I said,
Yeah, you can absolutely.
at least
Does anybody else wish to do anything or ask him to do anything before he sets out?
No.
Okay. Alright. You send Archimedes out to the cave. Have him make a stealth roll. This is not at advantage. So set the thing to normal at the top of his sheet.
Okay. Hold on, I'm finding a sheet again. Yeah. It's a slightly different level there, sorry.
He's under summons and familiars, etc. The end of character sheet. That's where he is.
Oh yeah, he's pretty stealthy. As an owl.
As an owl would, in the middle of the day.
See? Yeah. Well, alright, fine. God, I was forgetting that. Alright.
Go ahead and make another perception check with advantage. So, he flies in. You guys wait for about 10 minutes before he returns. He tells you that there is a rather large crevice that he did not spot in his initial flyby. This crevice is large enough that, you all and a large-sized creature could fit through. The large creature may have to squeeze a little bit, but it's doable. He went inside, and there appears to be a nest. There is an egg in the nest, about the size of an ostrich egg. Not that your characters would know what an ostrich egg is, but he puts it in a frame of reference that you can understand. About the size of Bacchus's belly.
Sounds pretty big.
And there's evidence of a carnivorous animal living there, as there are some bones strewn about, and bits and pieces of animal material, viscera.
No,
There
but
doesn't appear to be any creature there presently.
What kind of bite marks are on the bones? Do they appear to
Roll an
be
18 on perception. You rolled an 18 on perception.
Or a beak.
Yeah.
I will.
teeth versus
Beak.
beak?
You rolled an 18 on perception. I'll give it to you. They were teeth.
Okay.
yeah, the other question that I had was also, was he able to identify at least the size of any of the largest of the bones?
There's definitely like some large creature bones in there.
Size of a horse.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Okay.
He didn't sit and study the bones. You know, he
Oh, true.
did a rather cursory flyby. He did notice that there were puffs of fur intermingled with the nest and other areas. He didn't notice any feathers or anything like that, but he did notice there were tufts of fur.
Really wish we had someone who was kind of druid now. Yes. Okay.
You mean Druish?
As he said, there was nothing
Druish
in there at the moment. He said there's nothing in there at the moment, so he did a sweep of the entire area, and there didn't appear to be any creatures in there. If you all wanted to go over there and make the climb up, you could, or you could send him back and retrieve something so you guys can study it. That's up to you, or you can leave it alone. But other than the egg that was tucked in the nest, there didn't appear to be any other creatures.
Just watching Calypso go back and forth along the banks of this little creek. While I decide.
For like 10 minutes, so I'm just wandering, looking around.
Makes perfect sense. I agree.
What would you guys like to do?
I don't know that I want to antagonize a creature that can do that kind of possible carnage and lays eggs. It sounds like a freaking weird platypus, but whatever. Oh, that would still be a beak. No, don't they have teeth? Oh god, I can't remember.
Platypus doesn't have a beak.
As a bill.
Yeah, it's a bill.
Oh, fine.
But that also means they have teeth.
Oh my god, it could be a platypus. Guys, I think it's a platypus.
If I know my Greek mythology, I would say it's a platypus. I would say it's
They feature predominantly in many myths.
I would say it's the great platypus of the Trojan Mountain Pass.
On the question of life.
It's the legendary flying Pegasus platypus.
It's the berrypus.
Oh.
Agent P.
All right. So,
Eggy the platypus.
fur,
Agent Eggy the platypus.
no feathers, teeth,
And no beak.
no
Still
beak.
sporting platypus. Just saying.
No visible feathers. Tufts of fur.
Can we like?
I mean, to be honest, it supports any land animal practically.
I mean,
It could be a bear that just has a egg for whatever reason.
a bear that lays eggs.
Who says it lays the egg?
Huh.
Who says it lays the egg?
Like, I thought I knew what this was.
I was thinking harpy.
Videos did too.
I was thinking harpy.
No feathers.
Would our characters have a way of knowing what
No,
Is
nah.
this Jeopardy?
My character wouldn't know that stuff.
I mean, You
I
can
wasn't
make.
just
I
talking
will
about
let
you.
you make. I will let you make a nature roll.
Yeah, I'm
you
not good
want.
at that.
It's at disadvantage, though, based off the information that you've been given. You don't really know, but you
Even
can try.
me? I did say platypus.
Even you.
Cool. I don't actually receive a negative from it from the exhaustion then, because you can only have one disadvantage. So
Oh, it's disadvantage. Hold on.
I mean, you might roll high on both ends.
there you go.
Nope.
Yeah. Profanities is honestly the only one who
Hey, I was
comes
making
up
work
with.
up.
How long have you doing it?
I'm
Yeah.
much
So
better.
like you
All right.
said,
As I was saying, profanity
Fine.
is really the only one who, might draw some kind of conclusions.
All he's able to say is it's not a platypus.
Everything, you're going through your Rolodex of,
right? Creatures.
creatures, beasts, even a couple monsters. Not necessarily that you've encountered, but you've studied, read about, heard stories, etc. Thinking it over, the presence of feathers would denote maybe a griffin or a hippogriff
Or an owl bear.
or something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
An egg also denotes the thought of maybe some kind of avian creature. It's also possible, though, that whatever lives here, didn't build the nest, and there might have been something else that lived here.
See, that's what I was
There's
thinking. What's going on, Phil?
definitely something you feel.
Different Phil.
Something that you feel would have wings. You don't think that a regular, unless it's like a large goat, but demonic goats, it's a completely different season. Unless it's something like that, it definitely would need wings to be able to not only scale up to this height in this area, but also to, get into the cave area. It would need some kind of wings.
It could have leathery wings instead of feathery wings.
It could.
Could have pleathery wings.
Ooh.
Hard to say.
You said there was no feathers, right? I'm just
There were no visible feathers as
I have a strong suspicion that an owl would recognize feathers if there were any.
I just made sure I wasn't hearing it
A
wrong.
mechanical
There
owl?
were feathers, and I heard.
There were no
wrong.
visible feathers. There
Got
were
it, great.
tufts of fur that were mixed in with the nest, but you don't know if that's intentional. I mean, plenty of birds do that.
Right.
Yeah, but with straw wrappers in there. Yeah.
You can head on back. You can, stay here and wait. Obviously, there's nothing there now, but that doesn't mean there won't be anything later. You can go in there and investigate yourselves. As of now, there doesn't appear to be any creature within the cave.
I looked at profanities. I mean, how much do we want to devote more time to exploring the cave, or are we going to continue on our journey? Hey, what's Calypso doing? That kind of thing.
Well,
Did we have it look outside the cave for any signs of tracks or anything that might lead the direction that normally approaches and exits the cave and stuff like that? Or
He did not.
exits toward?
But
We
we
have
have
not
sent him back to do that.
it will do
So-
that, but
You don't think he's going to be as good at spotting that kind of thing as you are. Though he is designed to look like an owl, that doesn't mean he is an actual owl.
Right.
Yeah, I think though if we choose to ignore it, whatever it is could be a potential hazard if we decide to come through here on a stealthy run, which means we might be coming through here at night.
Right.
So whatever it is, I'd rather clear it out and know that it's gone, rather than risk it impeding our attack at some point.
Right.
I'm sure that's going to make the gods and goddesses of nature so very happy with us.
Well, if we go and attack it now, we're preparing for battle. Ares will be happy. If we have to attack it later because it attacks us, we couldn't have prevented the anger of the gods of nature.
Well, either way, in that case. I mean,
Exactly. So we either take their wrath now and deal with it while we're preparing, or we take their wrath later and impede our progress and risk our attack.
And if it'll help make amends with the gods, then hopefully it will be a nice and meaty creature that we can take back and we can harvest it for its bounty.
And Bacchios can serve it.
Instead of it just being a waste.
There you go. So the hunt is afoot.
thank you, Sherlock.
So, what does that mean? What would you guys like to do?
We're gonna send the owl back up to see if there are any tracks, not necessarily to discern the type of track, but to see if there are any. Because if it's a flying creature, it may just fly straight into the cave and not land and walk around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Okay.
that's
Jesus trying
that's
to
my
get-
thought.
Okay. So you send Art. Is there anything else you guys want him to look for before he goes out?
Should I have him grab one of the larger bones as well?
Sure.
He will try to pick up as best as he can. He is still a small owl.
Alright, he's gonna try for stealth again.
Okay. You want him to be stealthy?
If he can be.
You rolled a 12.
He may not.
Go ahead, and he needs to make a survival. If he doesn't have survival, just roll wisdom.
Okay, you got it.
It is flat. Okay. Alright, so another 10 minutes or so goes by. Calypso, go ahead and make a survival roll. You don't see any tracks near the water. Eventually he comes back. He does appear to be holding something, but it's it doesn't appear to be a bone. But he is holding something. Actually, what do you roll? You roll for that.
Yeah, I didn't roll perception.
Actually,
Alright.
yeah, have him roll perception. He has advantage on that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So he comes back. When he arrives, he tells you that he didn't notice any general trees. The ground is very rocky up there. So there didn't appear to be anything. Like, he feels like there may have been some claw marks or something, but that could have easily been just, natural scratches or little cuts in the rock, weathering. He's not sure. It didn't look like there were any deliberate claws or tracks or anything that he could find. However, in his claws, you notice he has brought something. It is not a bone. He says he found it woven into the nest as well. It appears to be about, I'd say, about the length of your forearm. So maybe like 2 to 2.5 feet. Maybe 2 feet. About the length of your forearm. Okay, from fingertip to elbow. It has a serrated edge on one side. It appears to be some kind of spike or quill. Very light to the touch, but very sharp on the end. Some kind of spike, spine, or quill. With very fine serrated edges on the end. That is what he's brought back.
It does seem to support Harpy. Except for, I don't know if he even noticed a scent or anything, right?
He has no nasal passages.
Oh,
He is a mechanical owl. Can't see them.
touche.
That's why his bonuses in perception are sight and sound.
Is it notched in any way as to be used as a projectile weapon?
Like an arrow is notched.
An arrow or a thrown dart?
There's only one winged creature that comes to mind that would have these kind of quill-like protrusions. Do you know it? Or do you want me to read as in, do you yourself know it? Or no?
I can't think of it off the top of my head now.
Thinking and studying the quill dawns on you that it's very possible.
Manticore?
Now, this quill was woven into the nest. It's possible that it just was something that this creature grabbed and put into the nest just as it was being built. However, this is a quill of a manticore.
I nailed it.
Aha.
Nailed it.
This appears to be a tail quill, as you can see. Again, doesn't necessarily mean that there's a manticore living in here. It could have just been used in the construction of the nest. But you are almost certain that this is a quill of a manticore.
All right.
It fits the hunting patterns, but do manticores lay eggs? Is the
That
question.
you don't know.
Well, since it's not at home, would we like to go up to its home and set an ambush? Manticores are not natural beasts. I don't think the god of nature would mind.
And you've spoken. You mentioned that this is the creature you're thinking of.
Yeah,
Right.
I tell everybody what I'm deducing.
All right. Well, as soon as he says that, I just start looking to the sky. I'm like,
I think we all would, but,
well, perhaps we need to keep an eye on high ground and the air. Then definitely as we approach, we could be being watched right now.
Make a perception roll.
It's very bright.
Very bright. Yeah, you don't notice anything of note in the sky.
Well, now that we know,
You do
what
say
we're
that out
looking
loud.
for,
If somebody else wants to make
I was about to say, you saying
The
that out
owl.
loud. Yes. Yeah, I would think the owl would be very interested.
Yeah, I said what I said out loud. Yeah, about we could be being watched right now. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. climbing
Yeah.
up the mountainside a good idea at this point?
Yeah, determine the better course of action.
Because
Whether it's
she might have some insight if this whole idea is a good idea in the first place, considering that her god is goddess of the hunt, right?
No.
My
No?
god is Apollo.
Oh, Apollo. I was thinking Athena. I'm sorry.
He is, though.
Or actually,
That being said,
it's
it is noted. Artemis is the
Artemis is goddess of the
the
hunt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
The god of archery and similar activity. So
Yeah.
he is. Archimedes does.
Well, whatever she says, I turn to
She's
whoever.
asking-
I turn to the one next to me and say, "I don't know what she's saying. It's all Greek to me."
Archimedes basically states that she's asking the question, so to speak. Asking the question, go ahead. I want you to say the specific question, Calypso. What do you ask in this augury?
Motherfucker, what's up?
In celestial or
because Calypso is offering guidance to everybody on their way up.
Yeah, she could still do that and then go up.
But then she can't do
But
it.
then she can't do it to herself.
Oh, that's true.
Going last is the only way to give it to everybody.
So, Arthemios, because there's a rope, it will be a flat roll
Yep.
rather than a disadvantage.
Yep.
And you can add a d4 from God.
All right. Athletics, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's a struggle, but you make it up without wear or tear. Odds or issue.
Alrighty.
Flip side. Last one. You have advantage.
I was gonna say you're just gonna type in +4 and that's gonna be that.
We have one inspiration left on the table. I'm gonna give her mine.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay on the ground. I'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
we got 2. I haven't used one.
We do have to.
She can have mine.
Go ahead. Roll one. Roll once. For one athletic check. That's 9.
Guess you could have mine too.
Yeah, go for it. You don't re-roll the d4.
Well,
The
in
d4
essence,
is
she
going to
did.
remain a 1. In essence, she didn't, yes. The d4 remains a 1, but there's one more inspiration on the table. If you want, you can use it. And try again.
Oh
God.
my goodness.
The gods have spoken.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So I
As you-
kind of close my eyes for a second while whatever the DM is describing happens, and I just say, Apollo, you could have just told me you
So-
were for the Trojans.
Or you could have just said, "Don't climb." it's not a good idea.
I mean, he told you it was neither a good or a bad idea to climb the wall.
This looks
Well,
bad.
that technically it wasn't him per se, right? It's just kind of the
You commune with only one god.
not there.
See, the thing is this. The climbing was neither a good idea nor a bad idea, but the staying here was a bad idea. So the 3 of us went up, and now the Manicore comes down and mauls you because you're down there by yourself.
You attempt to climb. Unfortunately, you are ye of little upper body strength, and you do unfortunately fall. You take some damage.
I forgot to mention, me and Profanities also threw down ropes. So there were 3 ropes, 3 sets of
And
advantage.
You still rolled a 1.
Triple advantages.
Oh man.
4 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. I actually rolled really low.
Like, okay.
4 points of bludgeoning damage, so take 4 points off your character. And unless someone suggests maybe tying the rope to her, I do need another check.
Oh, I would absolutely pull that girl up. Girl, tie that around your waist, please.
So you have to tie the rope to herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I just do that?
Yeah, you can
Let me just do that.
Yeah,
make a sleight of hand roll.
You know, I was going to say, your knot comes undone halfway up and you plummet to the ground.
However, I do need another. At advantage, make a athletics.
Okie dokie, Smokey.
Double 1.
Okay. Needed to get higher than a 10.
Well, she did. Yay.
It takes you a little bit of time. It's not like she's heavy, but it wasn't a sheer rock wall that you climbed. There were crevices, there were, juttings and things that you have to maneuver around.
Let's hope I did it delicately enough.
Enough, no. No, not very delicately.
Yeah, the roll was to see how many rocks you bounced her off of on the way up.
So you do take an additional 5 bludgeoning damage.
Well,
What the fudge?
Penelope's
But you-
roll wasn't the 11-12.
I know.
18. Huh?
It
All right.
was the 18,
No.
which is why I only rolled 1d6 instead of more.
More.
I mean, I
Who
rolled.
got the tiny whiny today?
I did. Would you like it?
Well, you have one, Arthemios has one, and Penelope has one.
I give one to Calypso.
You
She
take it.
definitely looks like she's in need of a little bit of a tiny whiny.
I tell her she can express her thanks to
Bakio?
Bakios upon our return to town.
Go ahead. 2d4 plus 2. Right. 8. So you took a total of 9, so you should only be down 1 hit. 4 from falling, 5 from being bounced up. You should only be down 1.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong. Like, it's not tied to my...
I don't think you applied the 5.
No. It's not tied to my hit points on my character sheet. Like, it's not... I don't know why, but because I was like, oh yeah, I can do it on the icon, and I did it the second time and not the first time. So I'll just set it to 34 and be done. But isn't it supposed to, like, update both ways?
Working on my end.
Yeah, that was, sorry.
There we go. So yeah, you're only down 1, but you make it to the top. As you guys turn to face the cave itself, you looking around, it's pretty much as described. You do notice that the ground is a little more moist is probably the word. There's some puddles on the ground. It appears like the water that flows down this mountainside. There might be a spring or some sort in here. Or in the rock itself. As there drips from the stalactites. Yes.
Stalactites.
Stalactites. From the ceiling that drip into the ground. But there doesn't appear to be any creature or anything waiting for you. As you get closer to the back end of this cave, if you were to just stay in the front portion, the cave itself is probably only about 15, 20 feet deep. Height, it's about 15 feet high, this entrance. But you do notice that there is a large crack in the corner of the cave that is created a means of passing through. Like I said, you guys can move through with ease. A larger creature might have to squeeze to get through, but is able to move through without serious issue. You wish to proceed through there.
Yep.
Could Archimedes take a quick lift down the crevice?
That's where the nest is.
Isn't the egg on this side of the crack?
No, he said it's with the nest.
Okay.
Oh, alright. Archimedes is with us, correct?
No, you have him circling around the outside looking.
No.
No, there's nobody outside now, so it doesn't make much sense to keep him out there, does it?
Yes.
The manticore comes flying in.
Carry on. I will leave it alone. I'm so sorry.
Oriana is, like, turning in her other dimension right now.
Sorry.
You make it into cave proper.
This is some kind of colorful cave.
You just sounded like you were from the Bronx, man. Stop that.
Hey, some kind of colorful cave right over here. Hey. The fuck is going on with this cave, huh?
You can see that there are cracks in the ceiling of the cave that provide sunlight into this area.
It's Artemios.
Yeah.
How much
It's
sunlight?
Artemios, man.
Not a lot. It's definitely not anything big enough for a creature to fit through.
No. Is it enough sunlight?
Oh, Apollo's chosen, huh?
It would suffice.
Okay. Look at me remembering stuff.
So what you're saying is that either way, the creature has to squeeze through that opening behind us.
Yeah, it definitely, something large couldn't fit through there. Now, if it's smaller than large, the
Right.
nest suggests that the creature is large. But if it's a small creature, it could fit through with no problem through the cracks of the ceiling. If it's a medium creature, it would have to squeeze through. A large creature wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
Artemios can go through with, or Artemios, sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Archimedes could fly in and out of those cracks without problem.
I assume if it's this tight a space and all that stuff or whatever, with only that one little ventilation thing up there, it probably stinks in here.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant smell. I mean, it smells like a, animal den.
Yeah.
In other words, it smells gross.
Yep. Alrighty.
What would you like to do?
And what are these? Are these just side cave? Are these like ledges?
There are some natural edging. around
Okay.
this. They're about, the ceiling of this cave comes up to a point. With the top, the exit of where the light is coming down is probably about 35, 40 feet up.
Okay.
The central pedestal here, it's about 5 feet off the water, the ground level,
Okay.
central area. And then these are about 15 feet in the air.
Alright, and what are these?
These are just rocks.
Oh, okay. That's a stalagmite, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And what is this?
Where are you hanging?
This hammer?
You gonna go in and get a closer look?
Why wouldn't we can just ask?
Yeah, I just looked at it on the map and asked, what's the deal? And this bag, and this dagger,
No, they're not actually there. Just
and whatever
flavor on
this
the-
is.
They're just flavor on the map that I can't get rid of.
Damn it.
Just like, hold on.
I thought all my character had to do was walk into the area and hit Alt and all these things highlighted and glowed.
Just like there are markings underneath the nest that aren't, and candles and whatnot that aren't actually
Fucking this baby bird is a devil worshipping cultist.
So these aren't actually holes?
No, they're just rocks.
Okay, thank you.
Like bone refuse piles, if anything.
Gotcha, no problem.
Okay. Alright, well, I don't think that manticores are known for laying traps, so we might as well go on in, right?
Yeah, might as well.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like set yourselves up for this ambush that you are planning.
Bloop, bloop.
Is he
Did
doing?
we cover
are you
what these
sleeping?
areas are? Oh, sorry. Did we cover
No.
what these kind of areas
Ledges.
are? Or are they?
Yeah,
Fi-
they're
15
like
foot.
ledges, outcroppings. About
Yaha! Got it.
Which puts them above this, because you said this is only like 5 feet?
50. Correct.
Alright, cool.
Almost feels like we should
You
just
would have
line
to climb
in.
up them.
Yeah, I get it.
Note to self: bring more daggers next time.
I will
Along
say
with pecans. Got it.
to access this central point area, climbing through here is kind of difficult. In other words, it's going to be rough terrain, and I am going to require a check. If you want to come in through this specific corner here, it will require no check and no difficult terrain. This corner and this corner here. But if you try to climb through the rocks and whatnot, it will require a minor check, and it's difficult terrain.
Question, before we discuss to set up our ambush, anybody need a bolster to their toughness and resolve for the next 8 hours? Or should I hold on to this spell?
Oh, I don't think I would.
Oh, Calypso, I forgot. We need to change out that spell.
Ah,
Crap.
So the
Because of,
holes are not actually there, right?
No, the holes are not actually there. They're rocks. They're like refuse. We need to change out that spell, Calypso. Because of this item. Forgot about that. You can, if we are wrapping up on this session, if you wanted to switch it out as part of the new day. I want you guys to set up where you want to be for this ambush, and that's where we'll call it.
So, out of curiosity,
Okay.
what is it you're talking about changing out her spell for?
She has the spell Aid.
Okay.
This torch already gives you Aid. She can still keep Aid
Yeah.
if she wants.
That's what I was gonna say. Is this gives you aid, but only if we have the opportunity to actually do this when we need it, type of thing. But if she still has the spell, she could do it for somebody else or a second time or something like that.
She can, but the only thing is that she only can affect 3 people. This will affect everybody. I
Right.
mean, if she wants to keep the spell, she absolutely could. But this does.
can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I've been trying to ask this question, and I don't know what happened. Anyway, half my setup just died. So what is this item that you're showing me? Like, is it mine? Is it something?
No,
It's the party's.
item. The party.
It was granted-
as a gift.
Yeah.
Okay, but what does that have to do with my aid?
Because look at the last line.
So you can keep aid. I mean, Arthemios brings up a good point. Obviously, you casting aid, it's an action, but you only can affect 3 people. But it's an action, so it's quick.
Right.
On the other hand, this, you need to spend an hour within the light of the torch.
Right.
But it affects everyone.
Right.
Aid doesn't stack. So,
Right.
unless you cast aid at a higher level, it's not going to provide any additional bonus.
But 8 only lasts 8 hours, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So in other words, we could start off our day, or after when we're set to be able to use an hour, we could start it off with this. But 8 hours later, we may not have an hour to be able to do something like this, and this is only once per day anyway. And
Absolutely.
once it wears off, you could still do an aid or something like that.
You don't
That's a
have
drop
to
of the
get
hat.
rid of the spell if you don't want to. That being said, I wouldn't blame you if you thought of having another, if you wanted to pick something else because
Right.
you have this item.
Well, I'm not that quick at running through the spells list and determining what I want, so
So, like I
is
said,
that an option to do that later?
I want you guys to set yourselves up for this ambush, and that's what we're going to call it for the night.
Oh, I see. Got it.
And then in the interim,
because this was a new day, if you wanted to switch out your spells, you could. Because you can't switch out Autumn. That's the only spell that you used it, you know.
Sure, understood.
But if you wanted to switch anything else out now that you have a little bit of time to get that prepared, that's fine. So, how do you guys want to set yourselves up for this ambush? What would you like to do?
Quick question.
Mhm.
Are the lighter areas and darker areas here different elevations?
No, they're the same.
Okay.
Once you get onto this level, it's 5 feet off.
Do these things, like these spike things that are at the front of these ledges, do they look like they go up above the base of the ground floor of the ledge? Do they provide any protection if you were to be behind them?
They would provide cover from anything below it, or potentially anything even with it. Anything above it, no.
All right, of course.
So, if obviously it's some kind of winged creature,
Right.
if it rises higher into the air, then you're not getting any cover.
Penelope.
From those specifically.
Penelope, would you be willing to assist in getting me up on this ledge?
Heck yeah. I'll give you a boost.
Since I'm
DM, how
tired.
thick is the nest? Like the actual bedding materials? Yeah.
Make a investigation check. I'll say you make your way around and you get.
Sorry.
Are you gonna go through the nest to kind of inspect it, or are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna get up there and look around.
Yeah, make an investigation check. I know that's not your strong suit, but go ahead. Not a high DC. Okay. Yep. It's a pretty sizable nest.
Is the bedding thick enough for me to hide in, for example?
For a prolonged, you don't know how long you'd have to be stuck there. It's definitely not going to be comfortable, and it's definitely not going to be, sanitary.
I don't care.
But it's possible. If you roll successfully enough in stealth, I'll let you do it.
In stealth to bury myself in it?
Yeah, you're also, having to think about your scent, your body protrusions, if this creature lands on top of you, it's gonna feel you.
That's
But
the
if you
hope
roll,
that it lands right on me.
If you roll well enough on the stealth, it might not feel you.
Alright. Can I use survival? Setting an ambush for a wild animal?
I'm gonna still make you roll stealth, but I will let you. Are you proficient in stealth or no?
No.
I will let you add your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay. Then I will roll it.
Because you take the time to do this. I'll
Sure.
let you add your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay. I am just clicking the proficiency box for stealth,
That's fine.
so we don't have to worry about adding anything to the roll.
That's fine.
There you go.
Okay. You spend the time to go ahead and place yourself anywhere on the nest, wherever you like. You spend the time to, gather bits and pieces of the nest and settle in as best you can.
And I'm gonna put the little ninja head on myself.
That's
Themios is
adorable.
being hoisted.
Yeah.
Penelope, go ahead and make an athletics, or Themios, make yours as well. You can roll flat.
Before I even go up, is Calypso willing to grant some guidance before I do it?
Yes.
As you call to Calypso for assistance, Penelope has already hoisted you into the air.
She's not hoisting me. I asked her to come to.
I'm kidding.
No, I just launched you. I didn't even ask. I'm kidding. You seem very defensive. I would always make consent.
Yeah.
Well, you did have consent. He asked for your help.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Bramp.
10 is enough. With the help of Penelope and how high she rolled, a 10 is enough. You get up there without injury or issue. You can place yourself wherever you like. Lipso.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was reading spells.
I'd say thank you
yeah.
both.
I'm trying to figure out how close I need to be.
Arthemios, if you would, I'm assuming you're stealthy.
I'm about to do that. Yes.
Go ahead. Make yourself.
Ah.
I believe that is flat for you.
It is.
And Penelope, how are you setting yourself up? Okay. If you would, put a little ninja token on you as well.
Debating, do I stay one area eclipse, so where are you going to be?
Is that the sleepy mask? No, it's not that one. Hold on a
It's a
second.
little ninja mask.
Oh, I didn't see it. Well, it was
Technically,
it was
could be
popping under the I don't know, the sidebar, whatever.
You're good.
I got it.
Penelope, click.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where Calypso thinks she'll be. I mean, I prefer to be up close and personal. My attacks aren't particularly great at a distance.
Well, I could tell you. Make a perception roll.
Ah, ignore it. Ignore it. Sorry, hit the wrong one. Yeah. Alright, well that worked out.
You can tell that if you were to get up onto this ledge here, it is this ledge here. It has the closest edge to this area, so you could potentially do like a run strike.
I tell Calypso I can head over this way, but she's free to find her own thing if she wants. Do I need an athletics check to get up there?
You do.
Okay.
You make it up without issue.
Phew. I don't ever take it for granted that I thank Athena.
Yeah, we're all spread.
Oh, God. Okay, you guys don't make it easy to help in battle.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. Yeah.
If you wanted to cast aid before,
Not so much
got
aid, I
settled,
was just thinking, yeah, I mean, aid is one thing, that's before, I get that, but, like, I was also looking at my, like, bless and, you know, the other stuff in battle, healing and all of that stuff, and that's range is 30 feet. You guys are making it, like, really freaking difficult. So I'm either blasty or I'm support, you know?
Sure.
That's what I'm
Well-
trying to decide.
It's anticipated that people will move
Right.
at the moment. Other than you, everyone's at full.
Okay, so which one is the easiest to get up and that has most cover of these landings here?
Easiest to get up there, well, this ledge. But
But that's at the, yeah, I don't want to be up close and personal with this thing. That's not me.
easiest to get up, they're all about the same. The most cover is this one all the way on the far left here. There's stalactites across the entire thing. Well, before you get over there,
Sorry, I
Sure.
dropped it. I know.
I need that roll, please.
It was, yeah, hang on. Athletics, you said?
Indeed.
How
You can
far
balance yourself before-
how far range does the majority of your attack spells have?
My attack spells are like 60 to 120. So 60, 90, and 120. But it's the other stuff that I help with that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make sure, like, if you're over there and something's fighting, and it's fighting either me or Penelope, do your blast spells reach to there.
Yeah, that's what I was measuring earlier. I have a couple of different options, and
She can reach the whole room.
I can reach. What? Yeah, exactly. That's one of them.
What do you got? Chill touch or something?
No, it's
Guiding bolt.
Guiding Bolt is 120, and then I have Scorching Ray, which is 120, but I also have other things.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of spells that you didn't need to use spell slots for. So,
Like not really.
cantrips.
Most of those are. Maybe this one? Hang on. Yeah, I mean, it's like my cantrip is Sacred Flame, so it's like 60 feet.
yeah.
The rest of them are all healthy type stuff, or utilitarian.
I was just thinking, I mean, do you want to be all the way over there, or would you rather be, like, next to somebody tough like Penelope up on that platform? Who can then run interference and block the thing from getting up next to you so you can still cast without maybe a negative, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or disadvantage.
That's kind of the reason why. But yeah, like I said, I want to be close.
Well, I'm just saying, because what if it does come in here and then we attack or whatever, and then it abandons the melee 2 and goes right over to you, Calypso, and now it's in front of you. You're at disadvantage for any ranged attacks, and the melee guys are having to run across to you, and the best all I can do is pop out and shoot some arrows at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't know where I'm climbing up. I guess here, but I.
Go ahead.
Well, that's the other benefit about it, is she can help you get up there. You know, whereas on the other slot, you're on your own.
Help me down a rope! Who's a ghost? What?
Penelope's a ghost.
What am I doing?
Make an athletics check.
Again?
Guidance yourself. Yeah, you fell down last time.
I did. It hurt.
Rolled a 2.
Yeah. Can I help her? I mean,
Hold
we're
on.
right here.
No, you're hidden.
Oh, fuck.
Uh,
Really? Come on, man.
I did say roll down a rope.
Make a strength save, Penelope.
Because that's, like,
A rope comes down
Penelope.
from the shadows.
Penelope needs to make a strength
You
save.
know what? She's just not determined to come up.
As Penelope reaches down, and she just manages to grab Calypso's hand before she falls again.
Thank God.
Climbing
And
thing.
you're able to pull her up.
I mentioned she needs to start working on upper body.
Unfortunately, that means you need to re-roll your stealth.
No, it doesn't. Don't do that to me. How many
And I
times do I
probably
roll
have
up to
to,
me?
too.
Come on.
You chose to come out of your hiding to help her.
It means I know my hiding area now.
I guidance.
I am unhappy.
So funny.
Fucking ghost.
Roll a d4.
Suck.
Okay, 12. Calypso, are you hiding?
Well, I'm gonna attempt to.
Please do it.
Over here, though.
Did I succeed? You know I'm not a ghost
Oh
anymore.
no. He's so in front of me.
I'm feeling really, really left out right now.
I'm dead. That's funny. That's also a sleight of hand. You just didn't know it. That's so weird.
I look at you, Calypso. I mean, I can't find you, but I look towards where I thought you were.
It's dark.
Wait, how dark?
It's dark where you're standing. There's no direct sunlight where you are.
Okay, that's a problem. Alright.
It's greatness.
Only in the
You're
center.
welcome.
Only in the center is there direct sunlight.
Alright, good to know.
At the moment, obviously. That's not going to be the case all day long. Right. One moment as you all
begin to settle into your spaces, waiting. I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws. You don't know, Penelope.
Damn it. I knew about
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I guidance myself. Just in case.
You can't guide it.
Oh,
Well, it's
okay.
resistance.
Yeah.
Guiding, Constitution saving.
I'm good. Now my rules kick in.
Saves aren't ability checks, though, right?
Correct. You're not at disadvantage. Okay. For the first few hours, yes, hours, you all are hanging in there fine. You know, it's not comfortable, but you're all trained somewhat in this kind of thing. Well, not all of you, but Calypso surprisingly takes to this pretty well. Everyone seems to be able to hold their ground, hold their stealth, hold their various positions without issue. After about an hour and a half, in the midst of your waiting for this, Archimedes comes back in. He does find you, Penelope,
Without issue.
with whether or not he's able to spot everyone else, you don't know. But he does tell you, he asked you, do you want him, it's been, about an hour, 2 hours at this point. Do you want him to keep flying around waiting for this creature? Or do you want him to stay here?
Stay here.
He's worried. He does mention a worry that he could be spotted flying in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. By the creature.
I bet him
Unless you can think of another means of him traveling through and spying. But if you want him to stay with you, he can. Because that's the other thing, too. You don't have your weapon with you if he's out there.
Exactly. Yeah, I want him. Thank you.
That's a big deal.
I mean, you have your other weapons. You just don't have your God-given weapon. Okay. With that, I need one more set of con saves from everybody. The hours tick by. Ooh, not as comfortable now, is it?
Aww. Damn it.
I'm just laying down. It's easy for me.
It just smells really bad, but it doesn't smell that much worse than a barracks.
Yeah, it's. I got no problems.
Calypso, Penelope, you do both suffer a level of exhaustion. Your
Of course
muscles
I
are
do.
beginning to tighten. They're beginning to get tired and corded. You're starting to feel the strain of being on edge this entire time.
Do we put that on our sheet somehow?
I don't know how to do that.
You can, if you go to your character sheet, hit the gear icon in the top right corner. And then once you've hit the gear icon in the top right corner next to your spells, if you scroll down a little bit, I believe, let me double check.
Show exhaustion tracking.
Yeah, there's
1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one up from the bottom in the general options window on the right hand side.
Right hand side.
Got it.
Turn on show exhaustion tracking. That tracker is in the immediate center of your character sheet, right underneath your hit dice above the weapons. And you
Okay.
can
See it.
just.
Advantage on inability
I don't
checks.
think it edits anything on your character sheet.
You just have to remember to do it.
It doesn't edit anything on your correct character sheet, but it does explain what each level of
It just reminds you what it is.
It still says no effect. Weird.
You have to change the number from 0.
I did.
And then
Well, when you
and then
have-
click
when you tab
away.
out,
Then you have to click away from
Click
it.
away.
Yes, I did that too.
And it doesn't
I think
say...
it's probably because I have it on pop out. Hang on.
No, mine's on pop out, and it worked.
Weird.
In that special.
Yep. You moved it to 1 and clicked away, and it didn't change to disadvantage on ability checks?
Yes, and now I can't open my character sheet.
Well, there you go.
Oh God.
Well,
I'm
isn't
now
that...
exhausted. My character sheet doesn't want to open.
Isn't that special?
Okay, hold on. No, it doesn't want to.
I don't know why it's not working for you, but you just have disadvantage on ability checks. We can
Right, now I can't even open my character sheet.
Well, we're calling it here. We'll play around with it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's because I couldn't be a ghost anymore.
That's it. I'm
Everyone waiting. Arthemios, make a perception check.
Perception check. Disadvantage.
Nice. Even with disadvantage. You don't necessarily signal to everyone else. Though it does be you're the one who notices first. It does become readily apparent to all of you as you hear the batting of wings on the wind. Arthemios, specifically, you hear more than one set of wings. And that is where we're going to end it today.
Oh, he's a mutant with 2 pairs of wings? Oh my God. Abomination.
Yep.
And somehow he knew this.
Who's he?
I don't know.
They're a
Profanity.
polyamorous. It's 8 of
Yeah.
Profanity.
And he's the Kraken?
The cracking. Yes, because then the right next to profanities, the egg starts cracking and the baby joins the fight.
Oh my God, it's like
Okay.
a spider with the babies. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw that in my head.
Yeah.
Bye,
Just a-
profanities. It was nice knowing you.
40 manicores with only 1 quill each because they're babies. all come flying out of that egg.
This was
Stabby
a great session, and even though we dealt with some technical difficulties
Yeah,
on the stream side, hopefully we
Only in the very
resolved
beginning,
it.
actually, because once it got stabilized, finally, it seems like we haven't had any problems.
No. Well, for those who joined us, I don't believe anybody else is here in the chat at the moment.
Not right now, I don't
Might
think.
watch on YouTube or something. For those who joined us, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Myths and Legends, the start of this stream, this experiment, so to speak. And thank you all you guys for playing. Hope you liked today's episode. No combat or anything, but good exploration and the like.
And we got the camp set up, and we got some allies already a little bit, some extra resources.
Squirrel,
Yeah.
if you want to sign us off.
Yeah, I don't need to bother you guys on Discord though. I'll mute myself on Discord or whatever and give a ending here or whatever. And thank you guys though for hanging out and doing this and everything, and for agreeing to this. And next week, obviously, we look forward to having the other 2 of our party or one of them at least, I should say, and the week after that, hopefully all of us back together.
Woohoo.
Excellent. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute on Discord though. But thanks, guys.
No worries.
I feel like Penelope will always remember the time that she was a ghost for a month.
What did you guys think?
Really fun. Except for that, that 1 minute. Other than that, they're great.
Okay, stream. So you might hear them in the background, but very much appreciated to have you guys. Anybody tune in tonight who did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know it was, like he said, there was no combat tonight, so it was a little bit of a slower mode this evening. But but it was still good,
I'm gonna say-
and we had a good time with it. And hang on, I'm gonna
Good job, Calypso.
lower
Okay.
them a little
Good
bit.
job. If you have any questions, Calypso,
I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect actually out of Discord. So thanks again though for tuning in, anybody who tuned in tonight, and we plan on doing this on Saturday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time from here on out, basically. I'm gonna go ahead and put us back on the splash screen, or not the splash screen, but the screen that I intended to do. Let's see, this one. Yep, there we go. Put us back on that. And once again, like I said, this is the plan. It's a Greek mythology-based campaign. Right now, we're trying to clear the way to assault some docks, Trojan docks along the obviously along the water. They're docks, and in order to facilitate getting more Greek reinforcements in for the Battle of Troy, the Trojan War is ongoing, and so that's going to be coming up in the coming weeks. We do have 2 other party members who will be joining us. Like I said, they just weren't able to make it tonight. We did have some technical issues in the very beginning. However, once we got that all worked out, it seems like everything else went pretty well. So hopefully we are going to continue with this and have some success first with these mana cores so that we can clear this pass, and then we can use this as a means of stealthily approaching one of the sets of docks and everything in order to accomplish our mission. That being said, hopefully you had as much fun as we did, and you will be able to join us in the future for future episodes. This was only episode 1. I know it wasn't rousing action adventure tonight, but it's setting the stage. Next week I'm sure will be more exciting, and we will move forward from there. I have been Secret Squirrel, your host. This is Secret Squirrel Games, the channel. All the information for my channel is at the top of the screen, so you can see it up there with twitch.tv Secret Squirrel Games, and YouTube channel is also called Secret Squirrel Games, using the same logo that you see in the upper left corner of the map area, or of the picture there, or whatever. And there's also a Discord information there. If you wanted to type that in, you can join my Discord channel, join the community, be a part of the community with us, and hopefully follow along and see where this adventure takes us. But like I said, this will be available for the next 14 days as a video on demand on my Twitch channel, and after that it will be available on my YouTube channel. So go check it out over there, and hopefully like and subscribe, and you'll be notified when the videos go live over there next time. And also hit follow over here on Twitch, please, and you'll be notified when we go live with this. All right? Take care, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm going to put you guys to an ending screen here, and then we'll call it a night. Thanks.